Welcome back, you guys. Today I'm going over commission jobs and the reality of that, as well as pros and cons, and also what I recommend. For those of you who don't know, commission paid only jobs are where there's no base salary, there's no hourly salary. It's just you get paid for the sales you make or whatever the agreement is. Typically based off sales, I would say. That's in my experience. But I know there's other versions of this. So to get right to it, the first pro is you get to work on your own schedule. There's no hourly 9 to 5. There is how much you want to work, that is how much you're going to get paid. A good example of this is real estate. The base is you only get paid for what you do and the sales you make. So with that, if you don't make any sales, you're not going to make any commission, and the commission is your paycheck. So you won't make any money on that. So just super important to know that if you don't put in the work, you won't be getting any income. So the pro to that is you can control your income. The more work you put in, the more you're going to get out of it and increase your income. So that is nice. To go off of that, you not only control your income, but you have unlimited earning potential. So it's not an hourly where, okay, you cap out at maximum hours or the overtime. There's no cap on this. You can literally decide what you want to make and how hard you want to work. You control your earning potentials. Typically with commission only jobs, you're very independent. This is for self-motivated people who can make their own schedule work, because there's little to no structure to most commission paid jobs. Can be a good thing, also a bad thing. I don't know exactly why I put this in the pros. Some people probably hate it, but some people might love it. So it's in the pros. And it can also be seen as a high risk, high reward. So if you're a big risk taker, I would definitely recommend a commission paid job for you. You might enjoy the big risk, but you might not get paid. That's a risk you take for getting paid more. My last pro that I see for this is you're not trading your time for money. And what I mean by that is most jobs you clock in and you clock out. Your time is worth X amount of money. And time is the most important thing that I personally believe that we have, because it's the only thing that's really limited is time. You're deciding how much your time is worth then. If you do a commission only job, you decide how much your time is worth. I see that as a great potential. Then again, others may hate that because there's no structure and there's no security in that, so you don't know at the end of the week how much you're gonna make. That's totally dependent on you. A lot of times you can have good weeks and you can have bad weeks. It also takes a lot of financial planning to be able to do a commission only job. So I've kind of been doing a little bit of cons to every pro. I'm gonna go over some cons. There's a lot more responsibility to this. Some people may see this as a pro. Again, I don't know why I divided it, because each one of these pros could be a con and each one of these cons could be a pro, but this is how I wrote it down. So there's more responsibility put on your shoulders. If you're lazy, that will show up in your paycheck. And if you're not lazy, if you're motivated, then that will also show. So basically, you are responsible for what you make. If you're having a bad week, guess what? That sucks, because you're probably not getting paid as much. Also, I see this so much especially in my industry. People just think they reach a point and then they know it all, and then all of a sudden they wonder why, oh my gosh, I'm declining. Because the numbers are always consistent with how hard you work. You can't just reach a point where you're steady. You always have to be working to do your best, are either going up or down. There's no just plateauing. You're either getting 1% better or 1% worse. So that's always how it works.
Again, this is all shown over time, and statistically speaking, I'm sure there's some people out there who can do it
like that. It was not. For the most part, if you're an average person, it will show up in your numbers. Another con to this commission-only job is a lot of the times you do work alone. You're put into a team or a group, but you are an individual in that team. And so what I mean by that is you are in charge of your own numbers, and yes, you have team goals, but at the end of the day, you're working alone. You can obviously lift each other up, boost each other, but you're responsible for your own numbers. It is becoming a little bit more competitive. It's becoming a lot more popular to do commission jobs. I see this a lot in summer sales and just jobs like that. There's a lot more popularity around it. So I know in the past, like, salespeople have a really bad rep. Whether you're trying to do the traditional selling method or the relationship selling, I always try to go for the relationship selling in my cases because I think it's a better investment long term. And then you just build that relationship and they are lifelong customers instead of one time. So I try to stay away from traditional selling and go more relationship-based selling. Another con, so the next thing is being forced to manage your own time on your clock. It's not a 9 to 5, like I keep on saying. You are really in charge of that. So you can always like stop for lunch, nobody's telling you you can't, but you may miss some opportunities during those hours if you take a 2.5 hour lunch break. So it is all depending on you. A lot of people see commission only jobs as a high stress. When you get a salary, you do typically earn less than commission based jobs, but there's no stress. You know there will be a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month. There is automatically money coming into your bank if you show up for work. But when doing a commission job, you can show up for work and not do anything and not be hitting a number or not be performing good, and you won't see that check in the mail because it's all dependent on you. And now to what I recommend. So I do see a lot of pros in commission only jobs. However, I do not recommend them. And here's why. What I recommend is a hybrid. I love a base salary. That way I know that my basic needs are met. There's no worry. But I also love the base salary to be a little bit lower and commissions to be a little bit higher, so I know my basic needs are taken care of. However, it gives me the motivation and drive I need to hit numbers and earn that commission. So it's a hybrid, so it's a little bit of both. You get a smaller base salary and a larger commission. So technically you can't earn as much as a commission only. The commission scale will be higher. However, I think it is so worth it to take out the worry of not being able to pay rent or not being able to provide for your family. So I would definitely take a base salary job with commission bonuses over a commission only job.
And again, this is my personal opinion. I feel very strongly
that is the best way. And then again, I do just want to add at the very end, it's totally okay if you want to go with a salary only job. There's no need for commission. You are trading time for money in a salary based job. That's why I see it as a little bit of an issue with me personally. I would try to stay away from that. However, there's nothing wrong with having a salary only job. And that kind of wraps it up. Hit the like button if you learned anything or if you just want to see more videos from me. It really does help out the YouTube algorithm, and I'd love to get more content out here on this platform.